Tamir the boy and the man, a lover of nature and wide open spaces. We see him full of life because that's what filled his life. Even as a child, he would get excited by finding a turtle, and as a grown-up too. As a child, he loved hiking all across the country, through the streams. He would wait for Saturdays just to hike. And then he became a farmer, in the place most natural for him, the soil. This was a photo, I don't know, taken just before he was kidnapped in the field where he worked. This is a journey that perhaps ends one uncertainty and gives us another kind of certainty. And we will begin a new journey of mourning, of loss, of pain. There will be a funeral, and we will mourn and mourn until we feel we can rise and rebuild again.
תראי, הילדים יודעים שאבא לא בחיים, ואנחנו יודעים שתמיר לא בחיים. אני לא חושבת שזה משהו שניתן להשלים איתו אי פעם.
Look, the kids know that their dad isn't alive. We know that Tamir isn't alive. I don't think it's something you can ever truly come to terms with. At least not as a mother. I'll always have dreams of him suddenly appearing from somewhere. The kids have been living with this reality for 2 years. On one hand, they're already used to it and building a new routine, but they're still very much waiting for their dad. I think Asaf is more torn because he's older, understands more, and they really are waiting for their father. And of course, when there's talk of released hostages, it always comes up again. When will Dad come back? When is Dad coming home? I'm not sure how much they understand that when Dad comes back, it's not something you can actually see and recognize as Dad. That's something we haven't touched yet, and we'll manage to face it. When Tamir is returned after 2 years, there are no eyes to look into or lips to kiss. It's something else entirely, something that cannot be seen. Yes, I'm saying that tomorrow, when the living hostages return beyond being moved, because I know almost every hostage. Even if they don't know me, I definitely know every family, and I'm deeply emotional with the families. It's definitely moving. But there's no doubt there's a small envy. And I can't even call it a writer's envy, because I can't put it into words. But it's envy that comes from a natural place, not a cynical one. That we could have been in that place too, and received Tamir back in a hug. Tamir was severely injured and he was kidnapped while badly wounded. I say, if only he had received medical care, then maybe he would have still been severely hurt. But he could have been returned to us. I really miss our conversations. We used to have so many of them, whether on the phone or just sitting together at a meal. I would sit next to him on the couch, and this 38-year-old man loved laying his head on my shoulder, and I would play with his hair and I'd say, "This is my boy." He's a real man, but he's still my boy. His presence. We're not preparing ourselves for the funeral in the technical sense. Emotionally, yes. I imagine myself standing in front of the coffin. I imagine what I'll say, but I'm still not able to sit and write the eulogy. Not yet. And I know I'll have so much to write. And then I'll say, "Wow, I'm running out of time. The funeral's about to start." And I should sit down and prepare. But sitting and preparing it, it's like, no, I'm also afraid. What if I'm left with a eulogy and no funeral? I can be angry at those I had expectations from. I expected my country to protect me. I expected the place to be secure. I expected that after the worst had happened, the very next day all the hostages would be here, without talk of a price. What a terrible word, price. It's not. Even today I hear it. The price of releasing the prisoners. No, it's the price of failure and abandonment. And I'm angry that there were those who raised Hamas, that it was us who allowed it to grow beside us, that we saw Hamas as just a burden, that we transferred funds, that we followed a policy of containment that allowed Hamas to grow. I'm angry. That's why I can be angry at my own country, at its institutions, at the government, at the army. Something terrible happened to it that morning. To the army we always believed was the strongest in the world. I'm angry at them, very much.
בלי שיח מחיר, איזה אמירה איומה זו מחיר, זה לא, וגם היום אני שומעת מחיר השחרור של האסירים, לא, זה מחיר המחדל וההפקרה.